Hey everyone, how are you? Hope you are doing well. It's your girl Meg. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing this makeup look right here, and it is very easy. Minimal products, minimal brushes, and we are focusing on a summer sweat-proof, bulletproof, life-proof, summer activity-proof look. For this look, we really focus on the skin and really locking and loading it all down so it can like take you throughout the entire day without having to sweat it off, because Lord knows I live in a really humid climate and I need my makeup to last me all day. And this definitely does. I have an oily skin type and things tend to slip and slide off my face if I don't do these couple of things that I'm going to show you in this video today. So if you like these kinds of videos, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, make sure you subscribe and follow along on social media where I post a lot of beauty tips daily, especially on my Instagram stories. I hope we can be friends. Yeah, that would be great. And if you want to see how I got this really fun, summery, easy, this is easy. I didn't even use an eyeshadow palette, you guys. Just keep on watching and let's do this. Okay, let's just go ahead and get this makeup started. I'm going to stay very minimal today and go in with some of my favorite products. I've got a great mixture of drugstore and high-end, so if you are looking to splurge and save, I've got you. The first thing I'm gonna do is go in with a primer. I've been trying out this brand new primer from IT Cosmetics called the Your Skin But Better primer that is oil-free. It says it's a makeup gripping base, it's a pore finer and a hydrator. That all sounds freaking amazing, and I've actually been really loving it, and I think that it's a great primer that really helps your makeup stick to it. One thing I always do is I always put a little primer under my eyes, with primers like this especially, just because I feel like it really helps my concealer and powders stay looking really good under there without caking up and stuff. Now I really feel like this is such a great primer for summer. The more and more I use it, the more I realize that this primer really does help your makeup stay put. So I've been loving it. Now, if you want a little bit of pore smoothing, this is not a necessary step, but I like the NYX pore filler. The only thing I feel is like I really want to smooth out my nose area. My nose has a lot of texture, and I always kind of go in just a little bit more with a putty-like primer. If you're familiar with the Benefit Porefessional, this is an identical dupe, and I just put that right there on my nose to kind of fill that area in. I feel like kind of going double duty on the primer is really gonna help my makeup stay and last, especially in the heat. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with one of my Holy Grail foundations. This is my favorite Estee Lauder Double Wear. So if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that this is one of my Holy Grail foundations. It's just bulletproof. It's wonderful for summer. I feel like it's buildable coverage. And if you're looking to save a little bit, definitely check out the L'Oreal 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. It's a nice liquidy medium coverage foundation. This one you can get medium to full. I feel like a lot of people are like, this is so full coverage, but honestly, you can really sheer this one out if you want. And I am wearing the shade Warm Vanilla. I like my foundations to kind of be a little bit on the warmer tone. I feel like even though my skin tone tends to pull a little pink and cool, I just think I like to wear a little warm. So I like to dot this over the face and use a brush, and then I'll kind of go in with a sponge here in a second. Sometimes if I want to really like sheer out the coverage or make sure it's completely blended, I'll just take my damp beauty blender. So I run this under the sink, squeeze excess water out, and then I'll just kind of pounce it into the face, even though the brush does a really good job. And just side note, I will be linking everything below, including the brushes that I'm using. I'm trying to make sure that I'm going minimal with products and brushes to make sure that this is very easy. You could definitely build this up another layer if you wanted, but since we're going for a more everyday look, we're just gonna kind of keep this where it is and go in with our concealer and our powders and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my concealer. This is an oldie but a goodie. If you read my blog, like, gosh, oh my gosh, like when Kennedy was a baby, Kennedy 7. So I used to rave about the Instant Age Rewind Concealer from Maybelline, and it's a new rediscovery for me. I've been trying this out again and I'm absolutely loving it. This is in the shade Fair, and I feel like the coverage is so wonderful, but it doesn't ever feel like heavy or cakey. That's what I just love in a concealer, and I don't like to use too much. I just really like to focus it in this under eye area and go immediately in with my beauty blender to blend it out. You could definitely use this around the face if you had any other spots that you wanted to conceal, but right now I feel like this is enough for me. I'm going to try and keep this as light as possible. The point is to use great coverage products, but like kind of in lighter layers. That's really gonna help your makeup last in really hot and humid climates and summer conditions. So we're gonna do something kind of a little different, and I've been doing this lately with my powders, and I feel like it really helps the longevity of my makeup. And what I do is I use a pressed powder under the eye and kind of a little bit around the face, and then dust on a loose powder. You don't have to do both. You could do one or the other. I just feel like this has really been helping, and I'm going in a very light hand with this, okay? I am 36. I am not about to cake on. I'm not about to do tons of baking, if you will. It just doesn't do really well with my age, especially with the concealer too. Like, I don't want to use way too much products. I want light layers. Same goes with the powder. And not many people talk about this. This is the Physicians Formula Translucent Airbrushing Pressed Powder. It's such a lovely, affordable powder. This is the translucent color. I don't ever hear a lot of people talking about this, and clearly I've hit pan on it. I like it. So I'm going to just go ahead and dip my beauty blender into this pressed powder and just lightly stamp it under the eye like such. I'm going in a very light layer. We are not caking this on. And then I'm gonna kind of go on in my T-zone where I really know that my makeup tends to break apart. So this sponge is still damp, and I am pressing the powder into those areas. I look a little ghastly, but we are going to fix this very soon. Okay, now I'm going in with my Holy Grail loose powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. This is in the shade Fair Light. What I like about this is that it does come in shades, so it will really match skin tones and really won't leave a white cast under your skin. I'm going in with my beauty blender again, and I'm just doing a tiny bit of powder over those spots, and then I'm going to turn it over to the butt of my beauty blender and grab the rest of my face with it. This very light layers of powder with this beauty blender are really gonna lock it in. As you can tell, like, my face looks very like right now, like I've done quite a bit to it. Now we are gonna go in with a setting spray. I've been really loving this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Not only do I feel like it takes down the powdery look of my makeup, it also really helps the makeup last a long time. So I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm almost out of this one, and just spray this down quite a bit to take the powdery look of my face down. And then I'm gonna let this dry, let it all soak in. I'm gonna do my brows off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, the brows are done, and I'm looking really cute. I always love when my face is like all flat and I have my brows done. And just for reference, I did use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer and the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter on my brows. They are my favorite brow products. This will keep your brows locked and loaded for life, like for real. Actually, I forgot to use it. So as you can see, kind of the bulk of what we're doing here is the base, like the face with the primers, the foundation, the concealer, and the powder. I feel like that's the bulk of the products, and now we're just kind of laying some more stuff on top of it. And the reason why I did spray my face in the middle of this is because I really wanted to lock down my base makeup. Doing all of those things, like using the pressed powder and then a little bit of loose powder on top and then spraying it all down, I feel like it really helps my makeup stay a whole lot longer. If you you have dry skin, I would definitely skip the whole 2 powder thing. I'm just a little oily, so if you're dry, I would go with 1 powder or maybe even not and just use a setting spray. Okay, we're going straight into bronzer. This is my favorite bronzer of life. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and it just smells like vacation. I use the shade Bronzer, so just like the regular first shade they came out with. I use it on a little angled brush all over the face, and we're using this to kind of warm the face up. So I use it along the temple, along the jawline, and kind of here in the cheek area. And then I'll sort of like pinch this brush and get some on either side of my nose. I'm just gonna speed this up so you can see the process. Okay, so as you can see, my face is not looking all white and flat. I've got some dimension into it. You may ask, like, what's the difference between bronzing and contouring? And honestly, it's kind of the same idea where I'm chiseling in these shadowed areas, but I'm kind of also warming up the skin as well, make it kind of bring my skin back to life, not make me look very flat. And then we're gonna go in with blush. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Blush. I absolutely love the butter blushes. This is in the shade Vintage Rouge. I feel like this is a wonderful neutral. I love this blush. And I just put blush right on top of that bronzer and I kind of brush it back. I don't smile and like put it right here in the front. I feel like it looks way more flattering to put your blush back there, and I love this like neutral color that goes with pretty much everything. Okay, we're gonna jump to the eyes and then go back to highlighter, and I'm not using any eyeshadow palettes today. I'm just using my trick that I love to share all the time, which is to use bronzer as eyeshadow. I take a fluffy brush and I just swirl it in the bronzer, and then I buff it in to the eye as eyeshadow. This is so easy. This makes you look like you are wearing eyeshadow when you're really not. You can take that same fluffy brush and then run it along your lower lash line to define the lower lash line. I feel like it looks a little undone if you don't do that. You can also use a smaller brush if you want, but I'm trying to play it safe with minimal products and brushes, and I'm just gonna do what I can here. It's a little big for underneath the eye, but it'll work. It'll be nice and diffused. One other thing you can do as well is take your blush, like my Physicians Formula Butter Blush, tap it in, and also kind of go over what you've been doing with your bronzer. But then I feel like this like blush kind of gives it a little bit of something something as well. Don't you like how that looks? It's not just that like brown color, you're just kind of layering that like neutrally peachy color on top. I just think that looks so pretty. And again, we're not even using eyeshadow, we're just using minimal products and using them in multiple ways. Okay, we're gonna go back to highlighter now, and I'm gonna show you, this is one of my favorite drugstore highlighters. This is the Sleek Solstice palette. It's a little palette. It has multiple shades. It's so blinding and beautiful. And I'm gonna go ahead and use this on the cheeks and then kind of to highlight in the inner corner of my eyes. And I'm going to mix this lavender and this like peachy shade together, and I feel like it's so blinding. This is one of my most blinding highlights that I own. Seriously, it's pretty good. Look at that. It's like insanity. So where to put highlighter is just like right above that blush on that cheekbone. If the overly highlighted look is not for you, that's totally okay, but I love a good highlight. You know what, I'm gonna put some more. Just a little bit right here. I just love to glow. I just think it's perfect all year round, especially for summer. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to do it. I'm going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to use the highlighter on the top of my brow bone, just like so, to highlight. And then in the inner corner I'm using the peachy one. I'm using this one. They're all so blinding. You could also get creative and put some on your eyelid if you wanted, but I think that's gonna be a little bit of overkill. If you feel like you overdo it with your highlighter, just pro tip, I feel like I look really shiny right now, but I honestly don't care. But if you feel like you ever get to, like you went overboard with your highlighter, just take a little tiny bit of your powder on a brush and just lightly dab it. But I don't really want to take it down. So, okay, here's another tip before I do mascara, because mascara and lips are gonna be my last step. I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face and set it down one more time with the setting spray as a final step for the setting spray. If you do it after your mascara, there's a chance that the mascara might run a little bit more. It's not a good look, so I always advise to do your setting spray before mascara. This is your final step to get this all set, locked and loaded, all that fun stuff. And I'm gonna go do my mascara off camera. I'm gonna be using the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. This is amazing, I absolutely love it. I'm gonna go ahead and do my mascara off camera and I will be right back. Okay, here we go. Mascara's on, and as my final step, lipstick. And did you really think I would do a bulletproof summery makeup look without my Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink lipsticks? Because I won't. These are so bulletproof. These are my Disney proof lipsticks. This is the shade Lover. I love this beautiful pink shade. It's so perfect. It's summery, springy, anytime, but I don't know, I just wanted to wear it with this look. And that is it. This is an easy summer, bulletproof, sweat-proof, life-proof makeup look that will take you throughout all of your summer activities, especially if you live in a really hot and humid climate like I do. That about wraps this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this helps you achieve a really flawless, beautiful summer makeup look that's bulletproof for you as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!